This should be played at high volume, preferably in a residential area.
It's the Dirty Laundry Game-Worn Hockey Podcast.
We're old school, right? We wash our own dirty laundry.
The name on the front is a hell of a lot more important than the one on the back.
I refuse to be judged by a grown man wearing a hockey jersey.
Game on!
Game on!
We are back with another episode of the Dirty Laundry Game-Worn Hockey Podcast, St. Louis Expo Live Edition. Holy hell. Yes. It's 11:30 already on Saturday. We haven't had any time to record before now.
No.
Last night, what did we get in this room? About 2 o'clock?
About 2 o'clock.
And
left about 10.
Yes. Seeing Cliffy set up his 6-hour plus thing.
Yeah.
The guys from Golden have an amazing setup here in the corner, and watching the people setting that up yesterday was just crazy. We have a great picture of you vacuuming that we'll share at some point. But
I guess that falls into dirty laundry at some level.
Yeah.
30 something.
Dirty floors. Well, of course, we have Tyler from Ringside. We'll have him on here the episode in a little bit. They brought some amazing things today, as always. And just walking this room again.
350.
Wade making deals live, live while the recording.
Hey, listen,
I love it.
For everybody who just always says I never sell anything, that's proof that it actually can happen.
Right. And it's recorded for all time right here. But kind of give people to walk around the room is come in and you go to the right. Of course, Wade has got a bunch of soda and Gatorade and water for people as they spend the day here. My small table this time around, which is good, and then you've got a mix of Blackhawks and Pokemon.
Yeah.
And it was funny talking to him about that. I said, "Well, did you expect 20 years ago to be selling Pokemon?" He's like,
Yeah.
Absolutely not. And then
PG, that is.
Yes.
Yeah.
Pete with his setup, and then first time displayer here at the Expo.
Yeah.
And I had just met him 10 minutes ago, introduced myself the first time, and his last name is Mancuso. I already forgot his first name. I apologize.
Michael.
Yes. And his blues history over there is absolutely insane.
Yeah.
Rare Federico, Bobby Plager,
All-star jerseys, the whole
thing. Just all these things that are so, and we'll have him on in a bit.
Yeah.
I want to talk about some of that. And then we've got a Wales All-Star jersey, NHL All-Star jersey down there. You've got all kinds of blues jerseys, and then you transition into baseball.
Yep.
The whole far corner of the room is baseball, and there's some football down there as well.
Yeah.
And then we come back up, and this is just the edge of the room. You've got our friend, which we'll have him on here, and we're actually planning on having him on in the spring for the anniversary of the 1980 Olympic. He's got a photo matched Gretzky blue stick.
Brian Finch is a great collector.
Yes.
A great historian of Cardinal memorabilia, and he's obviously a blues collector as well. And, worked for the Cardinals for a long time. And it's just a real pleasure to have guys like that in the room. The one thing you kind of mentioned was the other sports. And I think that's one of the things that I love that sets our show apart, maybe from all the others. And I know there's other stuff in other rooms, but this is a game used show. And I think that's always the goal for me, is to provide the opportunity for a lot of people. The Pokemon's kind of funny. I had a couple of people reach out, and, they thought it would be a good time for them. And I ended up having the space, so we made it work. And I think that, Francis and I had that conversation last night. He's got a card guy at the Nova. And, I think you have to be a little selective, but I also think that part of it is being inclusive, because my favorite thing has been the Pokemon guy who's here with his girlfriend. They've been actually over shopping around. So it's neat to see that. And it's fun stuff.
And our buddy, of course, Nick from Ringside Reserve and the Blues, showed off his Pokemon cards he bought.
So commerce is in the air.
Yes. And then, of course, we have Kevin Jones with just a pile of helmets. If you're looking for any team that helmet wise, he's got it over there right now. That is absolutely insane. Brian Clifford with his just unbelievably crazy setup every year. And actually a funny story with that one from yesterday is Brian had it almost completely set up. And then the the guys from Golden were measuring up their setup, and we needed a little bit of space. So we all had to get together and slide his tables about 3 feet all together. And it was so funny to do. We got the Golden Auction guys stuff in there, fit in there perfect. And it is a beautiful setup in this room. It is absolutely fantastic. But it is great to be here. You got Francis, who came along with a lot of guys we haven't seen in a couple of years.
Yeah.
It's so cool. And we have filled this room. Wade, you've laid this out so well.
Oh,
everybody's having just a ball already.
No, I'm glad to do it. It's really neat. So I just drug my one of my best friends, who does not collect at all. My friend Brandon Tidwell, who is a avid listener of our show, which is great, but he doesn't collect. And him and his son Will are here and supporting the show. And I made Brandon come over, pick up your microphone, bud. You're
I only listen to the show when the guests interest me. If I can tell you
never
guys,
when Wade's on.
if I can tell you guys are bored, I tune out pretty quickly.
Yeah. No,
And hopefully that's not often, because we try to be energetic. And there's weeks where I'm, again, with my line of work and the stuff I do, I am exhausted by the time we get to the show.
Yeah.
But I try to feed that energy in so people do still enjoy.
Yeah, I think we all do. And I think it's just funny. I grabbed Brandon, who's walking around with his son, and it's just funny because I get tips and tutorials from Brandon about whenever I am disinterested or bored, or whenever
When you're chewing your nails.
Yeah, or something,
camera.
doing something.
Now, do you watch the video or do you listen to the audio?
I'm a YouTuber.
Okay.
Yeah, so-
I'm glad, because I know at least one point, and again, I'll call you out because it was funny. You had a rough day, and
I was dozing off.
he was dozing off live.
Yeah,
Which,
but no,
get it? We all get exhausted because this isn't our main job.
no, that was the day I traveled I worked all day. I traveled. And then when you guys were like, we're doing a show, and I was like, I don't think I should do it tonight. And then we started going, and I was like, oh my God, I don't think I'm gonna make it. I shouldn't have. But no, I just wanted to get Brandon on to say hi, because he didn't want to do it, and this is fun for me. So
Well, now you can listen to this piece and go, God, that guy was boring.
yeah,
Yep.
yeah,
I am.
yeah. Thank you.
Well, thank you so much, Juan, for coming out and supporting this, even though you're not into it. It's cool to just draw people in it.
Well, I'm a history dork, so I like seeing old crap. And
there is a lot of it in here. I
Yeah.
mean, what's from your perspective? I'll call you more of an outsider. What's the coolest thing that you've seen?
I like the Glenn Hall mold that Kevin has on his table.
Of the mask.
To
Glenn
me,
Hall's
that's
mask.
insane that
Yeah.
those guys literally
Wore that.
yeah,
it's
after they
insane.
didn't wear anything.
Yeah. So
And I don't know. I like the old sticks and the old bats. And of course, I love old jerseys.
well, thanks for coming on, Brandon, and thanks for supporting the show. He says he doesn't listen every week, but it seems like he does. So
I'm just
calling
waiting
you.
for Wade to get a Dr. Pepper sponsorship.
We are trying. We need to get the local distributor down there.
Yeah,
Hey,
something. Hey, listen.
Or at least a Dr. Pepper jersey.
Yeah, well,
We
we're
are
working on
really
that
working
too.
on that
Yeah,
one.
so
I think that would be awesome.
yeah. Well, one of these days I'll surprise you. Thanks for coming on.
Maybe if you can get a Dr. Pepper shirt,
Yeah.
Yes.
I appreciate
but
it.
yours would make more sense if it was
Yeah.
bourbon.
Yes, we will. But again, thank you. It's cool to get support outside of the mainstream.
Yeah,
like
for
that,
sure.
And
I don't listen to audio podcasts. I'm a YouTuber.
Yeah, it's fun. It's funny. It's like I said, I get a lot of feedback on the show from him, which is great. Good and bad, which is I think that's what we want.
Yeah.
I know we kid around about some of the messages we get from people who sometimes are supportive and otherwise complainers, but we all take it in stride.
Yeah, that's part of it. And if you're watching this on YouTube, and you probably will, as you're looking at the back of my head, because I have a face for radio.
Yeah.
That's why I did. That's
Oh,
why
you're
I did
recording
radio.
this. I forgot.
Yes.
Holy shit.
Great voice.
Yeah. So, well, thanks, B.
But yeah, thank you
Problem.
very much.
No problem. Have a good
Thanks,
day,
man.
guys.
Bye.
All right, now we have, and you look a little worn out. I know it's been a busy morning from you. Have Tyler from Rinkside Reserve. You've been on every podcast that we've done from here, because again, you guys, we appreciate you guys coming out to support us and bringing amazing stuff. God, what was the oldest? 95, 96?
Yeah, I think 95, 96. So before I was born. I was born in 1997. So
That's the
Yeah,
year after I graduated high school. Thank you very much.
yeah, this is actually my 10th year high school reunion this year. I graduated in 2015. So
It's my 30th.
There we go.
For that reminder
Hey.
too.
age knows here in the
No.
Authentics game.
No, exactly right. The collection you've learned so much from about all of us here
Oh, yeah.
and seeing stuff. But yeah, you guys had that stuff. Some nice 99 2000 patch jerseys.
Mhm.
You don't see a lot of those actually hit the hobby much,
Yeah.
which tells me how much stuff you have in storage.
Yeah.
What was the other crazy thing you found while getting ready for the show?
So there was a whole bunch of different stuff. Just blessed to have the ability to bring it all out here. From nameplates to practice jerseys, training camp jerseys, helmets, playoff helmets, to vintage jerseys that are older than myself. So
That's got to make you feel weird. And you found from the company Tokens and Icons the blues wallets.
absolutely. Yeah. So that was something that we stumbled upon. We got two different ones from Marco Scandella and Cal Rosen. So just something cool we could bring out, do it for a little cheaper than what it would be online. So
I'm gonna have to buy one because one of those, it's a money clip style wallet and
yeah.
actually has part of the blue note on it.
Yeah, yeah. So
that's slick.
I think the cool thing would be is just opening up each one and trying to see like what piece of the uniform it is.
Yes.
But they're super cool. They make wallet, like full wallet ones that people were talking about earlier, but we did the little clip and it's pretty cool. It's got a piece of authentic jersey on there, comes with an authentication. And you just got a little piece of a Blues jersey to carry your stuff around with.
Even tells you exactly what game that jersey was in because you guys do the tracking so well from your side of things, which again, as collectors, we all appreciate is when we buy those jerseys and we get the game tracking sheet. God, that is so helpful for going to photo match and all that stuff. And I know that's something else I'll say about you guys. And we appreciate it a lot as I've seen a lot more descriptions, especially of some of the older stuff and even some of the current, that it's been photo match to XYZ.
Right.
And your wear descriptions are getting more specific.
Right.
And we thank you because over the years, I know it's a learning curve for you and Nick both. And it's been so cool to just sit and chat at stuff like this or at games and say, hey, have you thought about this? Or have you looked at those things? And you guys are constantly adapting and we love it.
Yeah. Yeah. It's something really cool to come here with Nick really starting this thing off a few years back. And he's very, very dedicated to the craft and making sure that we do the best that we can do. And that's something that's infectious. Coming here, it's something that I really enjoy, always trying to do more, always trying to be better. And we do this. We're lucky to do this because of guys just like you and Wade. And we're very fortunate to be able to do it. And that you guys are so gracious to have us out here and, have conversations and, get to know each other personally. So
it's funny, the number of people that come up to you. Oh, I've dealt with you through emails or whatnot.
Yeah.
And it's funny, just the line of people that come to visit.
Oh yeah. I think I've dealt with probably just about everyone in here, which is a great thing, Yeah, the relationships you build in the Authentics realm it's something that's special specifically to Authentics. The passion that comes along with it, it's awesome to be around. And I know last year, my first year in here, first year with the Blues, the stuff, just seeing all the stuff on the racks and all the stuff on the tables, just the history in here, it's unbelievable. So it's awesome to be back.
So, and we've never really dove into this much, but I know one time talking to Nick, he thought about having us cover it. What is your background?
So my background is actually, I started off in ticket sales for the Pittsburgh Pirates, just as a way to get foot in the door. I knew I wanted to do something in sports. So,
and you were originally from this area?
Yeah. So I'm actually from Southern Illinois, about an hour and a half from St. Louis, in a small town called DuQuoin, Illinois.
Where the second Illinois State Fair is.
Absolutely. That's our claim to fame there is the second Illinois State Fair is in DuQuoin, Illinois at the DuQuoin State Fairgrounds. Feel free to come on and check it out. But so grew up small town, Southern Illinois. Went to school at John A. Logan for my associates and then switched over to Southern Illinois Carbondale, the Salukis. So did that. Actually was working for my hometown post office before I decided, let's do something different. Let's try to do something not, you don't get to do all the time. And I have the time as a young man to try to go do something. So
that's the time to go,
exactly.
Let's find something different.
So, now, 28 years old and a wife and no children yet, but I'm busy enough as it is, let alone when the kids come. So it's going to be pretty hectic, but wrapping back around, worked for the post office, decided to shoot my shots in the sports realm and was gracefully offered a interview to come out to Pittsburgh for the Pirates and interview for sales. And
how many other teams did you apply for? I mean, you just kind of throwing stuff out at a lot of different.
So
teams?
in the sports realm, you apply for everybody. Anything you're possibly interested in, any team, anything like that. Really, it's about the luck of the draw. And there's every year with a sports game, you're competing with hundreds and thousands of people who are graduating from college every day, every year. So it's very competitive. And really, I always tell everyone, Michael Scott's quote, you miss 100% of the shots you never take.
Yeah.
And it clearly was just Michael Scott who said that. No other famous person. But
nobody at all that we know.
Yeah, so really just everything, anything and everything. And Pittsburgh got back to me. And I was lucky enough, I had family out there about an hour away from Pittsburgh in West Virginia. So went out there, got to see them and interviewed, thought it went well. They said, hey, we'll let you know if anything happens. Went back home, sitting around impatient for a little bit, and then got a call when I was at work. And they said, hey, we'd love to offer this to you. You don't have to say this. What do you mean? I was like, of course. Like, I'll be out there. What time? When do I need to be out there? So
tomorrow.
Yeah. So I packed up, moved 9 hours away from Southern Illinois to Pittsburgh, and spent the 3 years there. So started off in sales, was in sales for about 6 months, realized that wasn't for me. And they were great enough to, what else are you interested in? What else? It's nothing to do with
that. They wanted to kind of work with you and say, okay, fine, we'll find something.
Right. And that's the thing with sales in general. It's the easiest thing to get in because there's so many moving parts. There's a new class, new people coming in all the time.
Sure.
So a lot of the time people understand that it may not be what you want to do, but
it's a good jumping off.
It's a perfect get your foot in the door, make relationships. And that's really what it was. I was fortunate enough to get in there and make relationships with people where they knew it wasn't work ethic. It wasn't anything wrong with my ability to do the job. It was everything wrong with the fit and not wanting to be in sales. So, or at least in ticket sales, I'm still here peddling some stuff here, but
it's kind of sales.
Exactly. So switched from there, was very fortunate enough to interview for the Authentics job in Pittsburgh. So I was the coordinator of Authentics and promotions for the Pittsburgh Pirates. So part of my job there was actually holding on to the giveaways. So our promo storage, I was in charge of the inventory of that and distributing promotions to the employees. Whole bunch of grunt work and moving boxes and all that kind of stuff. But it was something that I loved to do. And the other half was Authentics. So we'd get the baseballs, bats, jerseys, helmets, anything we could from the team, bases, anything from the team that we could to sell. And
now, was this in Fanatics time or pre-Fanatics?
This was pre-Fanatics. So we actually the Pirates Authentics team was just myself and my boss Joe Bilodeau. And shout out to Joe. Been with the Pirates over 40 years.
Wow.
So yeah, he's a legend. He's for sure. But so I did that, and we actually partnered with Hunt Auctions to sell during the games. Because him and David Hunt, had a great relationship. So they had worked out a deal through Authentics to sell in the stadium. And then my final year there, they had made a deal with Fanatics to
and that
build
was across the MLB scope, correct?
Right. So Fanatics was really deep into the MLB, but the Pirates themselves made a deal with Fanatics to build the first ever big Fanatics team store at the stadium.
Oh, wow.
So there's a huge one right at PNC Park attached to the stadium where you can go through and go into the stadium from the other side.
That's crazy.
So it was one of the first ones in baseball, and that was part of the deal. But encompassing that deal was Authentics also. So they got to basically sell the Authentics, and that turned me into more of managing the inventory and not being here face to face with people and talking with people like I was hoping to do. So that
doing
kind of
the back end side, so getting all the things and then handing it to them.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah. So that transition to me, one is looking elsewhere in the Authentics realm to where I can, have the full responsibilities, and also, trying to come back home, being an hour and a half away. St. Louis has always been what I considered my big city home, and always been a lifelong Cardinals fan, Blues fan, and no Rams fan. But
hey, 2 out of 3 ain't.
Hey, it's okay.
Now you got the Battlehawks. So.
Yeah. I'm Battlehawks fan for sure. Season ticket holder actually. So we love that. It's been great to be back here. The biggest thing was getting the opportunity when I saw this happen. I never really put much thought into St. Louis in general for Authentics simply because there was two options, the Cardinals or the Blues. And Authentics in itself is so niche that there's usually one, if not two people per team doing it. And just like here with the Blues, it's Nick and myself and our boss Randy, who's also in there. But it's a small knit group, and there's very few jobs available. So I'm very blessed to have, one, gotten another job in Authentics, and two, got to do it back home with the Blues. So
and from the time that Wade and I met you and say got to know Nick before and see kind of the transition of what it was previous to Nick coming in and then him introducing you to us and everybody, and it's just been, that transition's been awesome. It's been you guys are every season do it faster, better, stronger, making things look cool, like the stuff we talked about last year with the Winter Classic set stamps and just those, even just little things. It doesn't have to all be huge, but just how you manage Rinkside Reserve, how you do the auctions, and just your documentation. Like I said, the game tracking, all of that stuff. We rave constantly when other teams come up and we see how they're documenting stuff. And my opinion and my opinion alone, this is not Tyler or anything coming from him. So if anybody goes back to his boss, Tyler's not saying it. The Islanders recently opened their own Game U shop online, and it's awful. It basically says, this is this person's jersey, the end.
Yeah.
There's no documentation of what set, in some cases, even a year. It's nothing. And that is a bad way to start because you truly don't know what you're getting.
Yeah.
The pictures are substandard, and your guys were never bad. They were just, we'll call them basic, but you've adapted those now. You put like the arms and stuff where it shows where. So you have adapted and you've learned, because by doing that, it gets people, ooh, there's more marks, this, that, and it raises the prices, hopefully, in the auctions and things. So it has been so cool to sound bad from the outside, to watch your growth since you've come here. And you guys come to the expos here, and when we meet, go see at the games and stuff. And anytime we buy stuff, the interactions, and as I talk to fans and collectors around the league, some have it close, but others barely have any. Oh yeah, I just email this person, they barely get back to me or whatnot. It's, guys, just from that point, have done so well. And Wade and I, if he's running around the room, both would say this, regardless if we just dealt with you as another team. Same thing, is you're doing it right, and it's appreciated that you do take the suggestions and other things, and it's not just, oh no, we'll just do it all our way. You learn, and I think you guys are one of the top teams in the NHL for that.
Yeah, well, we appreciate that. It's something we strive for, and thanks to the great Authentics people that we have and collectors. There's been a lot of bouncing off with you and Wade, which has always been helpful, and really just trying to make it more streamlined, make it more simple and mainstream for people to be able to access our authentic stuff. So really, from the pictures to the descriptions to the items we have, take pride in making it look as good as we can make it, and hopefully that drives more collectors in. And word of mouth is a big thing in the authentics business, and with you guys out here spreading the good word, we're very appreciative.
No, it's not easy for you because you do have a high volume, especially now with the logo change and that. So you've got a lot more things to do. But the number of people I've talked to that, again, follow a player that has come here or need something, they want a Blues helmet because of this reason. So they're not even in this area.
Yeah.
Hey, how does this program work? And we send them the link to Rinkside, or hey, here's how you sign up for the auctions. And then I hear back with them a month or two later. Oh, I worked with them and got this, or I won this auction. It was so easy. Like, yeah, I told you. They do it right. It's like, I'm not gonna suggest people buy stuff from somebody that doesn't know what they're doing. And it's just the constant feedback I get from new collectors is awesome. It's just, you guys are so easy to deal with, and the quick emails after the auction ends, just all of those things. Because sometimes, and it's not your fault. It's like, I buy a lot of stuff, and FedEx sometimes seems slow to pick things up. That's not on you. I have the tracking number immediately.
Yeah.
I'm just waiting for it to get here. But you guys have just banged through it quickly and handled it all. Tip, if you can, what's it from the time you get item X from the equipment staff to going up for the auction. Kind of what's that process? How do you guys
Absolutely.
do?
So we'll go down and our equipment staff, Rich Matthews and his guys are fantastic. And my boss, Nick, has built a great relationship with Rich, and the ability to get the stuff that we've got and consistently get it is fantastic. It's unbelievable. From the get-go, you go down and we get it directly from the locker room. The guys will have it, whether it was in the locker room or they brought it from Centene, they'll bring it to the locker room for us. We'll come down, grab it, take it upstairs, go through our stuff, make sure that we can get as much information about it and as accurately and as quickly as we can. See, what the vibe is as far as what it is, who it is, what it's worth, when should it go up on an auction, should it go to Rinkside, kind of deciding those things. Can we photo match it? Is it something that we 100% can verify is what we say it is? So we can make a COA for that. That's such a huge thing with Authentics is authenticity.
Yeah.
Having that trust and understanding that we will not set something out there that we don't know is not what we say it is. That is a big deal to have the trust with people to understand that. So we take that very seriously, and we'll go through that, get all the information we can, figure out which auction it's going to go into, work to photo match it if we can, and then we'll go through multiple times, read descriptions, figure out, make sure everything's right, because there's plenty of easy ways to mess up. I know that for a fact. And then we'll get it out there, and our executives are really good on signing our COAs and making sure, hey, this, show me this is what this is, or else we won't sign this. And that's very important to me. So yeah, it's really just being as diligent as we can with the information and making sure what we got is what we have, and getting it out to people in the best way, in the easiest, most understanding way that we can.
And it's we joke every time an auction comes up or you guys do your Friday drops at Ringside when the stuff from the 90s show up. It's like, oh, they open another closet again. But you're right, and your descriptions is like a lot of stuff, especially that hits Ringside. You don't do a COA because, yeah, there's marks on it. It was most likely one,
Right.
but you have no way to truly prove that.
Absolutely.
And that is a lot. Just like you said with the executives, like, hey, I'm not signing this if this isn't well documented.
Mm-hmm.
That shows the level of care and from top to bottom.
Right.
And it as collectors, not just us or people listening to this, is they all realize, yeah, how important that is. And if mistakes get made or if things are sold that are blatantly not what they are, causes issues and major trust issues.
Absolutely. And that's the huge thing is trust is such important in this. People trust us to do the work and make sure these are correct and that we are telling the truth. And that's a very serious thing. If you don't have the trust of the people, or people don't believe that you are being honest, then you don't have anything.
Right.
And that's what I mean by relationships. Just building personal relationships with people. It's fantastic. And that's what I really love about being in the authentic sales realm, is having the ability to have these conversations with you or anyone in this room that will come up and have a conversation and talk about stuff. It's literally talking about sports and being paid for that. So, blessed to be here. And
it's the trust that your bosses and Nick, we have a great relationship with Nick as well, but also the people above that allow you guys, one, to come here, two, to talk to us, because if they were nervous that, oh, they may say, no, we've all built a relationship and it's fantastic. I mean, the just running into you when we at the equipment sale in the summer, catching up really quick, or at games, it's become a not just a relationship, but a friendship.
Absolutely.
Because yes, your friend spends a lot of money with you, but it's just gotten to know you and Nick. And again, it is so much better to not just be a business transaction.
For sure.
It's fun. You guys get it, and it helps because so many don't.
Right.
Well, it again, you brought, every time it just blows us away with the stuff you guys bring, and it is greatly appreciated that the support, and you guys always want to come out here. It means a lot. At some point, you got to talk to the guys at your end to let a couple of us come and bring some jerseys to show off at a game.
That'd be awesome.
So people know that these things are out there, because I think a lot of fans don't know that, they maybe just the players keep them. Like over your shoulder, of course, he just got entered into or going into the Blues Hall of Fame.
Mm-hmm.
There's a Barrett Jackman It's his 800th game jersey.
There he is.
Sitting back there.
Work with him every day.
Yes, part as the
he is
alumni guy
yep,
now.
he is in charge of our alumni now. So we see Barrett all the time. He's a great man.
But that was one that I had purchased. Didn't even know it was that jersey until I started researching it.
Yeah.
And now it's his last away jersey.
It's awesome.
Where he hit his 800th game.
There it is.
Jimmy Snuggerud's under 18, the national development team jersey over there, just beat to hell. And Eric Johnson, back when they cranked out jerseys a little much, one of his rookie jerseys he wore for a period.
Yeah, I actually
marked that way.
Had a conversation earlier about like a blues museum or something being set up like that, simply because there's just so much history that's just not being displayed with the Blues, and the Cardinals have their own museum, stuff like that. So maybe eventually one day that'll come to fruition. I know there's plenty of cool stuff in Blues history that I'm sure we have that we can set out in a space like that. But for now, it's just kind of showing stuff, getting stuff out as we can, and
some of it ends up with us.
There it is.
Well, Tyler, thank you for coming on. I know you have a long day here yet for a bit, and then you're still you're working the game tonight, which is. Let me ask you this. What is a typical, if you weren't doing this, but what's a typical day for you from getting to the rink to getting out for running this?
So normally if it's a work day, we're there early in the morning, as if it was a normal work day. They're very gracious with our time in the sense of, they trust us to be where we need to be when we need to be there. So, very grateful for that. But, for like something like today, it would be getting in, a few hours early and scanning our jerseys for our tracking, and then getting the auction stuff ready and our ringside sales in the section. So I actually am not working the game tonight.
Oh, lucky. So you actually get a night off.
I am going to All Elite Wrestling at the Chavez Arena tonight. So that is what that is. But Mr. Darian over here, who's off camera, is actually going to be selling some sticks for us. So be sure to check out across from Portal 16, Blues for Kids section.
And that's a beautiful area, by the way. How you guys set that up now with the glass cases and that, so you can see what's up for auction.
Oh yeah,
I love that setup.
Yeah, and that was something that we didn't have in Pittsburgh, and to wrap that back around, Pittsburgh was for profit. So here with the Blues, it's for charity. So it's something that I'm very proud of, and it gets me excited every time when we sell stuff, because it goes back into the community and wraps back around. So
I will say the number of times that I either myself or Waiter at games, and there are vintage jerseys or anything in your auctions, we've had friends from out of town reach out and go, hey, if you're at the game, can you go look at that and see if there's wear in that? And in some cases, you guys have been, if you're not super busy, gracious enough to open the case so we can look at the arms or whatnot. Because we'll help people spend their money from out of town.
Oh, yeah.
We don't mind. So,
yeah.
But again, thank you for all your time here and your support. And I hope you do enjoy your wrestling tonight.
Oh,
and hopefully the Blues will get a win. But I know we'll talk to you and Nick again soon, and Wade and I will be both spending a lot of money this season with the new logos.
Yeah, that's what I love to hear. Plenty of new stuff coming. So
yes,
be on the lookout. Rebranding comes with some cool stuff for sure.
Exactly. Thank you very much for your time.
Of course. Thank you. Have a good one.
We have had you on a few times on the podcast now, talking about all the amazing 1980s Olympic stuff. We talked to you in the spring with the Frozen 4 Expo. We've had you on past years here, and you're, I swear, every time I look down at your booth, you're always talking to somebody or a group of people.
Well, thank you, first of all, but I'm not sure if that's always a positive, when I'm trying to leave church with my wife and she wants me to be quiet. But I'm a storyteller at heart, and that's part of coming out to these expos. It's I'm not making much money here. Probably costs a little bit of money, but it's fun to share stories and connect with folks, and kind of it helps you rekindle the flame a little bit, and why we do this and why we are in the hobby.
And for those who don't recognize the voice, because I didn't actually throw your name at the beginning here, Brian Finch with the amazing Olympic collection. I want to get into the other thing you're showing that's un-Olympic related here in a second, but when I walked up, when you were setting your stuff up the other day, you showed me a super cool piece. What was that?
So, I honestly don't remember. It was Olympic related.
Ruzioni.
Oh yeah. So, I hope everybody. This sounds crazy. This is not some personal mission, but I have found the game worn hobby to be more fulfilling for me when I have a focus. Mm-hmm. When there's plenty of collectors that I collect the blues and I want everything blues and all that stuff. That's fine, but at some point, like there's a limit to our funds. There's a limit to our time. There are all these limits, and so I've found in my life, in my hobby pursuits, once I got focused, I really found more enjoyment. And for me, that focus has been the 1980 Miracle on Ice U.S. hockey team. And specifically, my goal has been to put together a team set of 20 game-used sticks from the 20 players on that final roster that won gold for our country. And so just like I believe most people would say, it's fun to have the set or fun to have the sticks, but the journey to get here, while arduous at times and
and I can only imagine,
testing at times or whatever, has also been the most rewarding, like bar none, most rewarding. And I look around the room and people that have helped me along my path, I've been able to help them with their paths. And that's really what becomes meaningful. It's more about these personalities, whether it's some of the players I don't know personally, but I do know the people that helped me get their stick, and that's been really enjoyable. So,
and it was such a cool stick to see.
Sorry, I got off track there.
You're fine.
So, well, I'll share that. So the stick I showed, Mike Ruzioni Northland stick. My goal with not just getting a stick from every player, like that's check number one. I'd like to get a stick from that player of any point in their career. I just want a pro model stick. And then check number two is, well, how close can you get it to 1980? Check number three is, can you get one from 1980 Team USA?
But as you get closer, the checks get bigger with bigger zeros too, right?
That's true. Yeah, good, nice pun. I love it. So Eruzione has been a challenge. People fought to keep Jim Craig sticks, and Craig played in the NHL. Neil Broughton had a very long career.
Mm-hmm.
Mark Johnson had a long career. Ken Mar, you go through the names. Eruzione retired at the end of the Olympics. He had a recognition, which was, you think about it, for a guy that was only 24, 25 years old, that it's never going to get any better than this.
No.
And the road for him ahead in hockey, as he describes, is maybe as a fourth liner for an NHL club, but more likely, just kind of toiling in the minors. And so why would I choose to do that when I just had like the ultimate mountaintop experience on a sheet of ice? And he stepped away. Great for him. Cool story. But for me, coming along years later, like, well, there are not many sticks of Mike Eruzione's around, And so I've been very fortunate and blessed to, I've had a few over the years, but I've never had that Northland. And when people think about Eruzione and Miracle on Ice, they see that picture in their mind of him holding a Northland stick. At least that's how I see it. Scoring the goal.
That looks like a tree.
Yeah, scoring a goal, and scoring not just a goal, the goal, which would be the game-winning goal in the Miracle game, February 22nd, 1980. And so that's always been sort of that's like the box number 3 for me is, if I can get one close to 1980, and then if you can get one that matches the style at least.
Mm-hmm.
In a little bit of humor, a few years ago, I'd reached out to an auction company about a different player stick that they had auctioned, and was trying to see if we could track it down, and we did, and they were very helpful with that. And as a call out, it was SCP Auctions. They're really cool to work with. While I was trying to get this other player's stick, they said, by the way, we're doing a private sell. We've got a Eruzione stick that he used to score the winning goal in the game, like the stick from Eruzione. Would you be interested in purchasing it? We know you like Miracle sticks.
Gee, thanks for asking.
And I was so flattered that they would think me, little Midwest guy on a middle-class salary, had the $286,000, which is what the price was.
Wow.
But I've always... that's been a notch on the belt. It's like
the fact that you're even asked. Yeah.
That's right. I unfortunately had to say no. I like my wife and want to stay married and have a house and not live out of the car or whatever.
Honey, I mortgaged the house.
Yeah.
What for? A stick.
That's right. A hockey stick. Anyway, all that aside, so we have a group on Facebook. I know we're all members of different groups. We've got a Miracle group, and this year a fella kind of out of the blue posted he had this Eruzione stick. Wild story behind it, which make for great circumstances like this. We came to an agreement, and I was just like, so where did you get this? I mean, it's perfect. Got the right blade tape, knob tape,
and that silvery sticker that's on the bottom is still
the hosel wrap, all these things. It's a fantastic example, right? And I may never find a better one in my life, that I can afford, all these things. Okay, so he says, yeah, I own a rink in the Boston area, and we were cleaning out some storerooms, and I knew I had some goodies in there.
Mm-hmm.
And he said, but we found this in a back room along with a Bobby Orr and a Brad Park. And I mean, you're just like what the heck?
You heard the first one, you're like, well, wait, what else?
I clean my closet out and find like old gym shoes,
I'm happy if I find a $5 in a coat or something.
Totally. So anyway, so he was delighted that it went to somebody who he felt would appreciate it, and I absolutely am. And here we are. So long story about one stick, but that was the fun one to bring into the room today, and so the collection's complete. It's neat, and I don't know, I enjoy it. But again, those aren't for sale. Those are to share stories.
Will you keep pursuing any other stick just to get to get any closer? Okay.
Yeah. So that's my it keeps me content in the hobby. Sometimes you feel like you're chasing ghosts. I kind of mentioned, I may have mentioned, everybody thought to keep the superstar sticks. I've had a half dozen Jim Craig sticks or more in my life, but I've only ever found one Eric Strobel or one John Harrington or one Mark Pavlich even.
Mm-hmm.
But those have been more rewarding, and it's not because they're particularly valuable, but my goodness, they are hard to find.
Yeah.
So
just
anyway,
because of what it is. And staying in the stick topic, you have another one over there that I think is pretty mind blowing as well, and fits right in with the St. Louis area.
Sure. So I got into hockey in the 1990s, and I grew up in Kentucky. Hockey was not a prevalent sport, and I grew up playing roller hockey. And I got into roller hockey because of one man, really, and it was Wayne Gretzky. When Wayne Gretzky came out with the rollerblades and those endorsements, and this was the cool thing to do. And so a few of us on the street got rollerblades, first of all, and they were like, well, there's got to be another thing to make this more fun. And I was like, well, put a hockey stick in your hands. So I think there are a lot of people, of our generation that have an appreciation, large or small, for Wayne Gretzky. I mean, I believe he's the greatest player of all time. And so getting into adult life and getting into, game-worn stuff, I thought, it'd be really cool to get a Gretzky blues stick. I'm a blues fan. Had found one of those from a collector, and then was very content with that. But I would always check Craigslist, check stuff, and actually found a stick on Craigslist locally. And that's this stick over here, and it's Gretzky's first stick used on home ice with the St. Louis Blues. And it's actually got a letter of authenticity from the Blues. It is photo match. It's photo match to an Upper Deck trading card. I mean, it's pretty wild. Like all the little
things that line up. You showed me like on the butt end, there's a number written, and
his sticks are all inventoried. The trainers, as I understand, they would have his equipment, like new gear, sent directly to their house. Because if it was sent to the stadium, by the time it would get down into the locker room, typically a box would be open and something would be missing. Like his stuff got stolen all the time.
Not surprised, just because of how valuable it is.
When they traveled on the road, I've been told that his bag always had a dummy number on it. There was never a bag number 99 because how many hands were touching that, and they would open the zipper and pull something out and that kind of stuff. So anyway, this stick's pretty fascinating. Like I said, found it on Craigslist of all places. I'd done the research on blue sticks. I knew what to look for. I knew the code number on the knob and all these things. And and it checks out. So it's kind of a cool piece. I've sort of kept it in the shadows, but I thought with this being the 30th anniversary of him, like, let's bring it out at the expo and have a little fun.
It's beautiful. And those, again, somebody that grew up that kind of played street hockey, things like that, is those Easton aluminums. Everybody was, when those hit the market, everybody wanted one.
Yeah.
And it was him. There was a handful of players. Him, I think Hull was one. There was a few others that really used those.
Yep, Shanahan used them.
And everybody wanted to own one.
Oh, yeah. Well, and what I find fascinating about Gretzky sticks, and this is not specific to the one I have, but just all of them, his sticks were tanks. I mean, they were heavy, indestructible. I mean, where Brett Hull, on the other hand, he wanted a lightweight. He was really taking advantage of the aluminum for, the weight of it in sort of the newer material.
Yeah.
But Hull would actually not flex on the shot. he would end up bending the shaft, and that's when he knew to get another stick. And so I've had a few whole sticks over the years, and they're cool when you can see that slight bow in the stick, looking down, holding it up in the air and looking at a light kind of thing, because he would bend them. Gretzky never, ever came close to damaging or bending one of his sticks. He used a really heavy stick, and it's made me wonder, like, what kind of workouts was he doing with his wrists to be able to have that kind of finesse with his passes. We knew him for his backhand, all those things, right? But with that heavy stick. So anyway,
and with I mean, you think about that compared. I've got a modern one of the Bowers that just came out. And
yes,
how light that is.
Absolutely.
And it's just to see the line. Again, pick up your 1980s tree sticks.
Yeah.
How heavy those are, and then you compare that to a Gretzky compared to a
today,
brand new release. It is insane, and what speeds they're getting, but what speeds they got on those.
That's true. I'm convinced, just as a sports fan, as a former professional sports historian, there has been no major sport that's seen the game evolve through equipment. Nothing more than hockey. Baseball, we're still using wood bats that have to measure a certain weight, and they're using more maple now than white ash and stuff like that. That's fine. Maybe you could argue golf,
Yeah.
But you look at hockey, and it's not just the sticks. It's that the gear is moisture wicking, that it's not holding sweat as much, so it's not heavy at the end of the game. The goalie gear, I mean, your skates, and how now we can look at a player and basically do kind of a test on them and radius their blade to maximize their stride. I mean, my gosh.
Oh yeah, the science of hockey.
It's wild, and cool. Like it's not
and
bad.
it helps me because I'm old, fat, and slow, and the gear gets lighter but more protective.
Amen, brother. Yeah, I hear you. I'm with you on that. So,
and as somebody who's a very over the hill goalie, it is crazy how much lighter those pads are, and how much better movement I can still have, and even how the sticks are made. But yeah, everything is so light. But when I take the shots, and I've got some guys that I play with that are rocket shots, and you feel the thump, but it's not leaving bruises,
right?
Like the guys that used to wear the old stuff, and it's just
My son's a goalie. He lives it every day, and
you see it firsthand too.
And even just the iteration then from year to year. We're a family where thankfully he's kind of quit growing. He's late in his high school years and stuff like that, but still there are things that come out, better, this year than last year, where when we were kids, that wasn't the case. Like, you might want the new graphic on the stick or whatever, but the stick really wasn't any different.
Right.
It just had a different little paint job on it. But now this technology is consistently making the sport better, for the player, and safer.
Yeah, for sure. Well, Brian, thank you for coming on and showing an amazing collection. And I know we're going to touch base with you again once we get up to the anniversary of the 80s Olympics.
Well, I appreciate what y'all do. Keep up the great work. Enjoy the podcast, and look forward to what comes down the road here.
Thank you very much. Well, we are wrapping things up. It's been a fantastic show.
Yeah, it's been a lot of fun.
Why don't you pick up the microphone? You sound better. That one, red one. See how you are.
I'm tired, Doc.
Yeah.
I'm tired.
Well, I mean, it's a good tired though.
Yeah, it's been fun. It's been a good weekend. Had a lot of great interactions. Saw some cool stuff and met a lot of great people. So
the volume of different things is just insane.
Yeah,
the baseball, the football, Pokemon.
Yeah, the Pokemon was a great addition to the show.
And the number of collectors that also are into Pokemon, or were getting them for their kids. I love it. So if you're doing an expo somewhere, don't
knock it.
Yeah, don't knock it because it worked. I mean, Pete has stuff because he was doing Pokemon things while he was here yesterday. We've had other people.
Yeah.
We got a cool autograph guy here that had some neat things. I even picked up, for any of you people that love 80s movies, an autographed basketball jersey from Fletch. If you have not seen that movie, please go watch it. Yes. But it's been fun, and seeing some just people showing up, walking in the door, bringing stuff to show, to ask about, to trade. We saw a really cool Tony Twist jersey come through the door.
It was a pretty incredible day. I mean, the amount of stuff that was here and the eclectic nature of it was good. I mean, such great to have visitors, Francis and Brian Clifford and, everybody that came were just first class, and it was a lot of fun. And now we got to clean this place up, but
Yes.
which is now
You
my
got to
least
go
favorite
home and
part.
unpack.
Yeah. Well, I'll be unpacked in about 2 months.
Yeah.
So no, I'll get everything pulled
Unpacked
up.
about time to go to
Yeah,
Vegas.
yeah. I'll be on. I might just leave it packed for Vegas. But no, it was fun, and thanks for everything you did. I know you took over the reins of the show because I hate to say it, I just was like, Doc, you do the interviews.
Hey, you know what? They don't, like I said before, they don't call me Noise for nothing.
No, and it was fun. So thanks, man.
Of course.
To everybody that made an appearance here, to everybody that sent a nice message, that wished us the best in the show, to everybody that supports the hobby and collectors out there, thank you guys, and we hope to see you next year. I'll probably look into what I'm going to do for some dates for next year pretty soon, and I usually follow that up in a week or two and get it going.
Fantastic. From the St. Louis Expo 2025, Wade and Doc Noise. Of course, we miss Paul. We've been sending pictures and that. He's been messaging us. We hope everybody enjoyed this. We'll have some great guests coming up. We've got booked. So you get double shows to listen to this week. The guys from Second String Leather Company are coming on later this week, so you get to hear that episode. And we got a lot more planned. Well, thank you guys very much for all that attended, reached out, who saw pictures, wanted to ask questions on things. So thank you for the support across the board, and we'll see you on the next show.